Hey there guys, I have my '05 Impala here. It's an Impala LS and it's about a 20-year-old car. Now I am 19 years old and this car is almost as old as I am. It has seen almost 300,000 miles. It's been around, it's seen a few days, it's been rebuilt once. It's got a 3.4 in it, and as you can see here, my headlights are completely fried here. They are completely oxidized. You have the melted plastic, you got all that stuff, that clear coat that's just dying to come off and is just ugly. It does not look great, but there's an easy fix for that. Let's get into it. The stuff you're going to need, this is definitely easy to do and relatively cheap as well. You're going to need a 2000 grit piece of sandpaper, 600 grit piece of sandpaper, as well as a 400 grit piece of sandpaper, some paper towels, some painter's tape, some Walmart bags or a trash bag, some Rust-Oleum clear coat. You've got gloss clear. Make sure it is the non-yellowing UV resistant variant. This is not my method. I watched a fellow YouTuber go off and do this, and I just want to get this out there so that way maybe more people will see this, because it was hard for me to find a way that would actually work on my car. You see people use an off bug spray and it just does not stay, and I've tried it so many times, it would not do it, but this has done it. And as you guys can see here, it's not always going to be perfect. I mean, these lenses were far gone, as you can see, but it is crystal clear compared to what it was. So beggars can't be choosers. That looks awesome compared to what it was. And I think you all can agree with that. So first thing we're going to do is take your painter's tape and just go up around your light. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll jump right back whenever we go on to the next step. So let's start. All right, so now that I have this all taped off, and really don't be afraid to use painter's tape on your car, it's going to be fine. And the more you put, the more secure you are to not have to go to the store and buy Olympic white Impala paint, so that way you can repaint your car because it looks bad because you messed it up. So first thing you're going to want to do is use your 400 grit sandpaper, and make sure, this is where the spray bottle comes in, make sure you use water. You don't want to scratch your car up. So the first thing you want to do, just go off and nice and spray it down. Make sure you do it nice and thoroughly, and just get it soaked. We're not going to go any farther with that. We're going to take our 400 grit sandpaper, put some water on that as well, and since this is the grittiest of them all, go off and come over here and lightly, do not grind it into your light, just lightly start to scratch it off a little bit. Method that I watched had you doing it in circles, and it did work out pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do it in circles at first. As you get going, you will start to see almost a milky colored liquid start to come off your headlight. That is the oxidized plastic starting to run off of your headlight there. It's the clear coat coming off. So yeah, just go ahead and keep on going in a circular motion. Don't strongman it, but go at your own discretion. As soon as that stuff starts to come off, as you can see here, mine's just barely on there now. Just don't press real hard and you should be fine. Right, now that we've scratched the surface, let's go ahead and grab our 600 grit piece of sandpaper. Now, to conserve sandpaper, obviously, I'm going to use the one I used on the other headlight. So let's get started. Again, you're going to want to just kind of brush it on there real good. Don't strong arm it. With the 600, you can be a little bit more rough than you were on the 400. And my advice would be go sideways with it and just kind of follow the edge of your light here. For us Impala owners, our lights are real sharp. So make sure you get the points too. Don't leave that out or else it won't look right. Alright, so this is after the 600 grit sandpaper. As you guys can see here, I do have some permanent sun damage along the bottoms of my lenses here. That's just where the clear coat literally cooked on these things, and it is just, it's baked in essentially. into the plastic there. But these look immensely better. But we're not quite done yet. We still need to apply clear coat. We're going to use some rubbing alcohol. As the man in the video down in the description shown, he made an amazing how-to video on this, and I'm just trying to push it out further because this method works and it's reliable. It's good. Look at these results. You can't lie with these results. This will be our last sanding job here. We got the 2000 grit sandpaper. Once again, we're just going to wet it down. Make sure your lens is still nice and wet there, so that way you don't scratch it up. And we're just gonna once again lean into your curve of your lens if you got one, or the lack thereof, and just go back over it one final time. This is to sand down any of the little bumps or hills you might have went off and put on the plastic there, just so that way, you know, whenever the clear coat goes on and everything's said and done, you don't have a lens that looks like it's got little mountains on it. But you still want to leave just a little bit, which it will. The sandpaper will leave little dips for the clear coat to latch onto, and it'll look nice. Keep it from running. And I'd say that's good. You're gonna need some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, rag of some nature. You're gonna go off and just douse up the paper towel and some rubbing alcohol, bring it over to your headlight, and just wipe it down. That's to remove any skin oils or fingerprints, anything crazy like that on your lens that you might have left. And then you're just gonna let that dry before we start to put on the clear coat. And there we go. And then I'll be right back once we get to putting on the clear coat. So now that the alcohol is dried, you can see it's a bit patchy. It's a bit, foggy on there. This one's already got its third layer of clear coat on it. But this is where we're gonna need our Walmart bags. We're gonna go ahead and strip this guy straight down the side, so that way he's all splayed out long ways. And we're just gonna tape it up around our headlight, and I will jump cut to whenever I have mine added to my light there. Right, and so just like with this one, we now have our little barrier. Beautiful, awesome. Last things last, let's put the clear coat on it. Let's test. Just slowly. Just layers, thin layers. You don't want to get it runny. Beautiful. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My neighbor drove by playing copyrighted music. So I'm back. The clear coat has sat for a bit, about 5-10 minutes, and it should be good to go. We're gonna put another one on. Come on. All right, we're gonna let that dry again. Amazingly clear. Look at that. My goodness. I wish the bottom wasn't sunburnt. Alas, that's what I get for having an almost 20-year-old car. I still love it though. I love this car to death. It is now time for the third clear coat. We've sat for another 5 minutes, and this is gonna be the last one. And that's it. She's done. Let her sit for at least a few hours. I would recommend letting it sit for overnight, especially if you want to take some car wax and go off and buff out your headlights there, give it a nice shiny polish on there. But this has been how to restore your headlights to the best of your ability. And I'm going to give my car a car wash, because as you guys can see here, I removed my license plate. There's just dirt and grime, bug guts chilling out back there. If you guys would like to see me go off and attempt to restore the certified sleeper of a car, then let me know. I love this thing to death. I'm wanting to repaint it, get all that rust out of there, and go off and learn a little bit more about things up in here myself as well. I love this car to death, as I've said, and I'd like it to look its best and, you know, be brought back to its former glory, make it look like it just came off the factory line. So you guys can see I got some rust, hate rust with a burning passion, and this made me so sad. It's getting to me. Lots of little weak spots right there. Hate to see it. But that is the ballad of the 05 Impala, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out, and bye-bye!